It's week 13 of the college football season. We are getting down to the last stretch. Every game we're going to talk about is super important. Playoff implications on the line. Let's get straight into the predictions. We're going to kick things off 12 p.m. Not game of the week, but definitely the game everybody has their eyes on, especially in the Big Ten. Indiana versus Ohio State. Indiana, by miracle or by no one's, or I should say everyone's surprise, is undefeated, 10-0. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Ohio State, 9-1. Their only losses to Oregon thus far. Ohio State, we're not going to really speak about because, okay, they're 9-1. We knew they'd be this good. Indiana, who would have thought? Indiana is 10-0, staring the playoffs down. Unbelievable. But everything could change for Indiana in this game. All the people are saying this is the first real opponent Indiana's playing. Now, I kind of disagree with that because I have a lot of respect for Nebraska and Washington, some of the teams they did beat. But I get the argument that Indiana hasn't played the highest level of competition and their strength of schedule overall in the playoff picture is by far the worst one, by far. This is a true test. If Indiana can win this game, they're getting into the playoff, whether they win the Big Ten championship, whether they lose the Big Ten championship. That's a fact. There's no denying them after a win over Ohio State. But now the key, will they win over Ohio State? And more importantly, if they don't win, let's say it's an absolute blowout, Indiana gets murdered by 40 like they did like when they won against Nebraska, something like that, where they lose horribly to Ohio State. The argument's going to be made when the playoff committee comes together that Indiana, with that one loss to a true team in which they got blown out, should be left out in favor of a two-team SEC team, or as two-loss SEC team. Now, that's not my job to decide, but we'll get there when we get there. That reason I bring this up goes to show how important of a game this is for Indiana. And just because they are 12-point underdogs doesn't necessarily mean anything. They cannot lose this game by a lot. If they lose by 7, it makes a huge difference than losing by 40, 50 in this game because of the circumstance of their schedule and everything. With that being said, Ohio State is the better team. They can run the ball effectively, quarterback can throw, and the defense is lights out. They will win this game. I don't have enough faith to take Indiana to win this game, and I haven't seen enough from Indiana in the sense that this is a real team. This is a real team they're playing. And I don't think they'll beat them. But Indiana understands how important it is to keep this game in range because this can be the difference maker whether they miss or make the playoffs this season. Indiana will cover this spread. I will be betting it. Now, I'm not going to bet it super hard. This game I kind of want to feel out, maybe live bet, but I feel Indiana is good enough to keep pace with Ohio State. Ohio State will dominate the clock. They should, in theory, run the ball, effectively run the ball, control possessions, and make Indiana play from behind. That way, Indiana will struggle. Because how often have they had to play from behind this season? Not that often. Ohio State wins. Indiana covers. It should be a great game. Indiana has a great coaching, and they know what's at stake, and that this isn't a game that you can afford to get blown out in. Even if you're losing, you have to lose by a little bit. Every point counts. And a team like this, in a position like this, I am going to bet Indiana to cover. So, my official pick, Indiana covers, Ohio State wins. Next game, another 12 o'clock banger. This time we're going to the SEC, Ole Miss versus Florida. 11-point favorites is Ole Miss, and I get why on the road. Ole Miss is better than Florida. Florida's measly 5-5, as mediocre as it gets. But here's the thing, and I'm telling you, here's the thing. Something about this Florida team, when DJ Lagway plays, is all the difference that it takes. It is interesting to see Georgia damn near loses to Florida when DJ's playing. Florida beats LSU last week. Pretty strong. It wasn't like, a struggle. I don't know why I'm starting to lose it when I see this game, but everything is telling me take Florida. Take Florida. I don't know why. This just feels like a game that Ole Miss gets caught sleeping. Let's not forget, this Ole Miss team, as good as they've been the last few weeks, they lost to Kentucky. Yeah, that win over Georgia was nice, but they lost to Kentucky. Florida is better than Kentucky. I'm doing college football math right now, and that doesn't make any sense because it doesn't mean shit in this sport. I am going with Florida plus 11. Florida will cover. Florida will play well enough to keep it close. I'm confident in Florida. I'm confident in them to cover this spread. The spread is too big. More importantly, I'm going to do it. I am taking Florida money line. Yes, they are 11-point underdogs. Yes, Ole Miss is really good. Florida is playing the perfect spoiler position. They spoiled LSU seasons last week, and they're going to spoil Ole Miss's season. Because with a loss to Florida, I don't care if Ole Miss beat Georgia. They should not be in the playoff. Florida will cover. Florida will win. They are starting to come together. This team is actually sneaky good. Don't sleep on the quarterback. DJ is a beast. The kid can ball. The running game is going, and the defense can hold up. They're not great, but they can hold up. Ole Miss is a very difficult opponent. I know this. Lane Kiffin is a beast. You guys know I love Lane Kiffin. The offense in general for Ole Miss is very good. But I don't know why. Every time I look at this game, every time I analyze it, it's just Florida. I don't see a world where Ole Miss covers this big-ass spread, and quite frankly, I'm under the impression that Florida is going to win. I am betting this game. I am betting them to cover. I am betting them to win. I'm sprinkling the win. I'm betting a full unit on the cover, a sprinkle on the win. It's crazy. I know it's crazy. Florida covers. Florida wins. I'm crazy. Next game. One of my favorite games this week, BYU versus ASU. Love it. BYU has been on fraud alert the last 2 weeks. Or I should say BYU has been on fraud alert the last 2 weeks. They lose to Kansas last week, and they should have lost to Utah the week prior. They should be 8-2, but that's besides the point. BYU is clearly starting to slow down. They've had a lot of slip-ups. They've been fraud-checked quite a few times, and I'm not shocked if BYU ends up losing this game. They're underdogs. Vegas has them losing this game. But more importantly, why I believe they're underdogs, Arizona State has been lights out this season. Absolutely lights out. Do not sleep on this Arizona State team. And more importantly, if you don't know this head coach for Arizona State, Google him. The guy is hilarious. I want to be his player. I genuinely want to play for this guy. He is unbelievable. The speeches he gives are unbelievable. I love this guy. Arizona State beat the dog shit out of Kansas State last week. Showed everyone they deserve to be here. And Arizona State damn well understands how important this game is for the Big 12. Arizona State wins this game, they are going to play in the Big 12 championship. I truly believe it. I'm going with Arizona State. BYU is good. I've had their moments. I've bet on them a few times. They've clutched up for me. But they are starting to slow down at the wrong part of the season. And Arizona State is starting to get hot at the right part of the season. Arizona State wins. Arizona State covers. I am betting it. I am ridiculously confident in it. And I truly believe Arizona State is the better team every which way. Arizona State will run the ball effectively. Arizona State's defense will hold up and stop the quarterback and overall the BYU offense. Arizona State wins. Arizona State covers. I'm betting it. Book it. Next game. another great Big 12 matchup, Colorado versus Kansas. Colorado, in another trap game, is 2.5-point favorites over Kansas. Kansas has been getting stupid hot this part of the season. They've been playing ridiculously well and making noise every possible opportunity that they can. I am so conflicted on this game. I'm not betting it. And this is the first game we're getting to in which I'm not betting. I don't feel confident enough. For some reason, I have a feeling deep down inside that Kansas can win this game straight up. But the way Colorado has been playing these last few weeks, not only have they been winning, but they've been covering. And you guys know what I say and what everyone says. Good teams win. Great teams cover. I'm going with Colorado to win. I'm going with Colorado to cover. They control their own destiny. They know that. You know that. I know that. Coach Prime knows that. Everybody, I should say not everybody, but the NCAA, the Big 12, everybody who wants to make money and makes money from this shit wants Colorado to play in the Big 12 championship, wants Colorado in the playoff. Colorado is a big name. There are big names on this team, and they are going to draw money and viewership. Colorado will maybe play badly, but I could see the refs keeping them in it. There's going to be biasness towards Colorado. There's more people that want to see Colorado than don't. Colorado wins. Colorado covers. I am staying away from this game. I don't want anything to do with it. It makes me nervous why this spread is so low, but I can't go against... I said bust out my AP. Perfect timing. Colorado wins. Colorado covers. Next game. Army versus Notre Dame. Army, an undefeated team, 9-0, going into Notre Dame, who's 9-1, with their only loss being to Northern Illinois, if I'm not mistaken. It was some bum squad. Notre Dame got fraud checked. I don't think Notre Dame is that good. But more importantly, I don't think Army's that good either. If I'm not mistaken, you guys could fact check me on this. Army has not beaten Notre Dame since 1958. I could be wrong, but it's been a really long time since Army beat Notre Dame. I would never have the balls to pick Army to win this game. Let alone win this game, I don't think Army even covers. This is the first quote-unquote real team Army is going to play. They are going to get beat, and they are going to get beat badly. They're not making the playoffs. All the Army fans can keep dreaming. It's not going to happen. It will not happen. Notre Dame is the better school. They're the better team. They're frauds, but against Army, they're not frauds. Notre Dame is going to win. Notre Dame is going to cover. I have no doubt about it. I'm not betting this game because I don't actually think I could bet on Army games. I'm not sure. I'd have to check, but whatever. In any case, I'm not betting this game. I don't want anything to do with it. Army makes me nervous. Notre Dame is better. Yeah, it's two frauds playing against each other, and I don't want to bet on two frauds that I hate. I mean, I don't hate Army. I kind of hate Notre Dame. Notre Dame wins. Notre Dame covers. No doubt about it. Next game. And to finish things off, Texas A&M versus Auburn in another ridiculously low spread game. This spread is indicating to me that from Vegas's perspective, Texas A&M is overlooking this Auburn team and looking ahead next week to that game with Texas. Because that game with Texas, assuming Texas A&M wins, oh my God, it is going to be humongous, and the implications it will have on the entire SEC is insane. With that being said, I got Auburn. I got Auburn to win. I got Auburn to cover. This is a trap spread. Auburn sucks this year. Texas A&M is good. They are begging you to take Auburn in this position. Texas A&M in this position. It is easy. It makes all the sense in the world. Oh, Texas A&M is going to go into Auburn and bully them and steamroll them, and that's why Texas A&M is going to have a great matchup with Texas the next week. Anything can happen, and that's why Auburn wins and covers. Vegas is backing Auburn, so I am backing Auburn. I got Auburn to win. I got Auburn to cover. I am betting this game. I'm not super confident, but I'm confident enough to say this spread is too low, and I can clearly see already Texas A&M is overlooking how dangerous this Auburn team can be and will be. They think shit's going to be sweet this week, and Texas next week is going to be the real challenge. Texas is going to beat the fucking shit out of them next week. But this week, Texas A&M gets fraud checked badly. Auburn covers, Auburn wins. That's my official pick. I am betting it, and I'm probably going to bet it pretty strong. Those are my official predictions for Week 13 of the college football season.